In my series of lockdown webinars, we're interviewing lots of different experts and lots of very experienced investors, lots of millionaire clients. Today's person I'm interviewing is Maxine. She has been an estate agent for 28 years, 9 years corporate with a large chain. She's got her own business. She has over 250 tenants, properties that she's managing for people, and also does development herself. If you want to find out exactly what she's got to say about the current situation, then welcome to week 3, day 2 of my evening business and property business lockdown rescue webinars, where I'm speaking to experts and experienced property investors, developers, to ask what impact the lockdown's having on them and ways that they've found to get around things. So Maxine, very good evening to you. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
You're more than welcome. Just quickly, if you can correct me if I'm wrong in any way, you've been an estate agent in one guise or another for 28 years?
That's it.
You worked for one of the large chains for 9 years?
Yeah, just over that, yeah.
And you did land acquisition and key customer stuff?
Yeah, that's correct.
Anything else I'm missing from that?
No, I don't think so, no.
Okay.
Just from my own estate agent for about 15 years as well.
Yeah, which is far more important, isn't it? So you've had your own estate agent and you have around about 250 properties on management at the moment for different clients, but you also have your own portfolio and you also do development stuff yourself.
Yes, that's right, yes.
Okay, so what we've been doing, every evening we've been chatting for 15-20 minutes and then asking anybody if they've got any questions to ask. So please feel free, if you have any questions as we're going through, to pop it into the chat box or pop your hand up and I'll come to you, because it's good to get a mixture of written and spoken questions, which is really cool. But tell me let's look at this from 3 different angles. We'll look at it from your rental agency angle, your estate agency angle, and your own personal development angle. So putting your letting agency hat on, what percentage of the tenants and properties that you manage have made excuses about COVID, or they're not working at the moment so they can't pay?
A very, very small amount. We manage our portfolio very tightly, so we don't have, we only deal with professional tenants. So we've actually had 4 cases so far out of 250 units, and all of those people are not saying they're not going to pay, they're just saying they're struggling to kind of make the full payment. So we've been incredibly lucky.
Okay, listen, I'm just going to switch over to my 4G phone. I think I've had a few bits done to my internet today, so it may be working better. You still there, Maxine? Hi, Maxine, can you hear me? Could everyone put their hand up if they can hear me, please? No hands. Just checking, can everybody hear me now?
Yes.
All right, sorry, I dropped off. So, you said very small percentage of your tenants at the moment have dropped off making payments. Which is cool. So did you send them any preparation letters or anything like that about the current circumstances?
We didn't actually, believe it or not, we didn't. We just we didn't want to sort of preempt them not paying their rent, so we kind of just let nature take its course. Obviously, depending on how much longer this goes on, I know they're due to make an announcement at some point this week, but due to, depending on how long it goes on, we'll obviously see how much more effect it has had. But at the moment, that's our current situation. But we didn't want to preempt them not paying their rent or give them an opportunity to say, oh, did you know? And obviously the government, issued strong advice that, people are to still pay their rent. So, we didn't do anything in that respect.
Okay, cool. And what about tenant notices? Did you have any notices that came into play over the last few weeks that had previously put their notice in to move?
Just a couple, and they went ahead. There was obviously some talk about them not going ahead, but they'd already committed to other properties, and so we just allowed those to leave and just move slowly. So yeah, it's still continuing.
Okay, and I think one of the reasons that you can actually leave home is to move home.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously we're expecting them to move. The landlords were absolutely fine with it. So yeah, we just let those continue to go ahead.
Okay, and have you had any body move into them properties since then? Have you been viewing them or doing anything like that? Are you not allowed, or how are you dealing with that?
Yeah, so we have initially, I think, when we spoke a little while ago, we were not doing any viewings at all. But obviously, as the situation has become prolonged, we've come up with a strategy that all of our vacant houses need to be inspected every 14 days for insurance purposes. And the majority of our clients are sort of living in different parts of the country. And so what we've now done is we've got authority from our clients to allow us to open up the house, go back, sit in our car, let the viewer go into the property, let them come out, check the house, and each and every one of our clients are obviously keen to get the property there. And in terms of obviously, it being an emergency, we're obviously, if we was to get stopped, then we are saying that obviously we do have a duty of care to our clients to make sure the property isn't flooded or anything's happened during those last 14 days, and to avoid their insurance. That's the kind of road we're going down. And we've let 6 houses last week, so it's still very busy.
Okay, cool. So that side of the business is still carrying on. What about the properties in your estate agency, the sales stuff that was on sale? What's happening with that?
Yeah, so we've had a number of those drop out. Not necessarily completely falling through, but a lot of people, we've had people on the rent-to-own side as well, and are now quite cautious about the fact that the prices are going to drop, or all the hype around the market dropping, and there's been a sort of double recession, that kind of thing. So a lot of people have put them on hold. We've had so far 4 fall through. So and I think we've got about an £80,000 payment. So it's not massive. But it is, it is a good amount for us because our fees are quite high. But yeah, we've had 4 drop off so far, and noises that there might be a couple more in the weeks. So they're certainly falling through for sure.
And mortgage-led dropouts at all?
Not yet. So the majority have been residential purchases. Because of course they want to capitalise on the down market and get something cheaper. So not anything at the moment. But you want about buy-to-let side of things?
Well, no, people that are either buying for buy-to-let or people that are buying for themselves, whether they had mortgages lined up, and some mortgage companies have withdrawn mortgage offers.
Oh right, yeah, no, we've not had any of that yet. No.
Okay, cool. So what would be?
I've got to say from our financial advisor that most of the valuers are still doing desktop valuations, but they are saying there's a caveat that it is sort of pre-COVID-19. I know that they are still doing desktop valuations at the moment.
So what would you say to people sitting at home who are investors that have got money to invest in a deal and they're sitting there waiting for or been waiting for some time for a deal? How would you suggest they approach estate agents now, and what type of offers have you been getting on properties from investors?
Well, I would, at the moment we haven't had any, we've had a lot of calls from investors, people how you teach us to do things in a similar way. We've had a lot of calls from people like that. But in terms of actual buyers, normal buyers looking to purchase, we haven't had many of those, which obviously opens up the markets, and that's an opportunity for you guys But in terms of prices, I would say if it was absolute worst case scenario and the market dropped by 20% and you see a deal, I'd say, look, worst case scenario would be 20%, and I'd probably start with that and then work back.
Okay, but where do you see prices going as soon as lockdown's finished?
It's really difficult to say. I mean, just like the government, no one really knows how the kind of impact this is going to have. But I would say, there's going to be a price correction of some kind, and I would say it's somewhere between 10 and 20%.
Yeah, I mean, there's always, people who are in a position where they need to sell. Normally, they go to kind of agents. Top few people that they deal with because they know about the reliability side. So there is always that type of deal. But if you get anybody who says, look, just sell it, would you still be typically ringing your normal investors, or do you think there's a chance for a new investor to start getting a shout?
Yeah, I mean, I think that we're having people at the moment. We've had a couple of calls today from clients that have had their properties rented out, and unfortunately, because of their business, one of them's got a catering business, and naturally they need some capital. So, just like anything, like stocks and bonds and all of that kind of thing, people are having to sell up to release capital. So we are finding, there's a lot of opportunities, and obviously you can't buy everything. So absolutely.
Yeah, so a few people who've got businesses and a second or third house or accidental landlords are using their assets to raise new cash for their businesses.
Yeah, absolutely. And that pain, the pain we spoke about, it's all about just finding out what that is and, putting something together. So there'll be plenty of opportunities, I'm sure.
Okay, so if you was an investor starting now, or you just had one or two properties that and you weren't that established as an investor, what would you be doing now? Would you be doing stuff now? Would you be waiting for a couple of weeks for lockdown to finish? What would you be doing? What would be your...
Absolutely doing it now. Because now is, I know it sounds quite awful, but obviously people are quite vulnerable now. Once lockdown's finished, there'll obviously be a little bit, well, it won't be certainty, but things will be a little bit different. So I think at the moment, anybody who really needs to sell, I'll try and capitalise on that now. Okay,
cool, thank you. Right, I'm going to throw this open to questions now, and anybody who's got a question, please feel free to type it in the chat box or pop your hand up and I'll come to you. I'm actually going to go to Joe, if I can find you on here somewhere. Joe, if you could put your hand back up. All right, I've got you right at the top now because you typed something in. Right, I'm going to go to you. So Joe, you've got a question. I'll let you actually ask it because I know you're not shy on a webinar.
Lovely. Hello, good evening. Just a quick one. I'm not sure if I misheard. Are you saying that renters can move into properties during this lockdown?
So again, sorry.
Basically, I've got one of my flats in London. One of the existing tenants moved out, and somebody all lined up. They passed all the tests and stuff, all the screening, and then they're set to move in. And my letting agency said, no, they're not allowed to move in because of the lockdown. And because I thought I heard you say that people could still take on new places.
I think it's down to the agent, isn't it, and how flexible they are. And obviously, the government have said, that movings can't really take place. But like Glenn said earlier, I mean, if someone's due to move in and it's their main home and they've committed to something, what's to stop them moving in over a period of time, so long as they're following the government guidelines of, social distancing.
No, I was actually, Joe, speaking to a policeman the other day, a friend of mine, and asking, what view they've got on things. And he actually said, and we've checked it up, that one of the reasons people can leave their house is to move. That's only recently been reintroduced, but it is on the list.
And also as well, it's, it is quite unclear, they said, oh, well, you can't move, but you can move if it's urgent, so we're just kind of going in between going, well, if we can get it through, and we're not putting anybody at risk, which is most important, then we're trying to get it through for the client, because time is money.
Yeah.
So shut the fuck up.
Given that it's been open to interpretation by the letting agency.
Well, I think, Joe, the move-in thing has changed over the last week or so, okay? There's been a few things that started off one way that have now changed. So maybe if 2 weeks ago they were saying you couldn't, but now the rules have been changed to say they can. The only thing is some people aren't wanting to move because they're worried moving in somewhere that hasn't been cleansed properly.
Okay. I think it might be handy for all the landlords out there. If there's a link to anything on the government website or anything like that could be sent out a bit later, or if you tell me where we can find it, then I can send that to my letting agent.
I know I googled the other night what reasons are you allowed to leave your house, and I come up with a .gov. .gov.
That's right. If you can find it, I can find it then. So that's that's good enough for me.
All right.
That's good.
All right.
Thanks for that.
Joe, can you just let everyone know how long you've been investing and your portfolio numbers, etc., just so that they can get a feel for who you are.
Okay, hi everyone. Yeah, I'm Joe. Been studying at it for about 10, 12 years, then ramped it up a couple of years back. I was in London working in IT, but I started off being a dishwasher, looking for cat in hand jobs, and I thought, sod that, I'm not going to do very well, so I thought better learn computers, because I saw an advert in the Evening Standard saying you get 25k. So I got into that, then I got my first flat, then another one, and then built it up from there. Got about 4 or 5 left in London, and I started investing in the South Coast. Currently got about 20 units down here, doing holiday lets and buy-to-lets. I didn't do much for the last couple of years, but and I thought this year I'm going to have it. Went back to Glen and then studied COVID to come and slap us straight in the face. Made up money. I'd had a proper job for 10 years, so I doing property, had lots of holidays and a lot of good time. And I'll tell you one thing, it's better than pushing them out around in an office.
Thanks, Joe.
That's for sure.
Cheers. Thank you.
That's near out, mate.
Thank you.
Okay.
Just to I've sent you that link, and it actually does say, like you just said, Glenn, the new update is you can move home if the property's vacant.
Okay, cool, wonderful.
The link's in there.
Okay. Right, let's just have a look at some other questions that have come in. You've put that on the link. So what I'm going to do, Maxine, I'm just going to cut and paste that, what you've just put. If it will let me. I love to. Yeah, no, I was going to try and send it to everybody on here tonight. I'm just struggling to cut and paste it for some reason.
I'll put it on your email if you want to cut and paste it from your email, if that's easier.
Yeah, I'll do that and send it to everybody. If anyone wants it, just email me and I'll send it to you afterwards. Right, okay. Just trying to think. So, yeah, I mean, Joe, one of the reasons he came back to me is because he was sitting, living happily with his portfolio because of the government changes in Section 24 and taking away of interest rate relief. While we're here talking about changes in the economy and stuff that's happening because of lockdown, how's that affected your landlords and you in general with the Section 24?
Sorry, was that question to me?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
You broke up a bit there, Glenn. Can you just go back to that? Sorry.
Yeah, so I was just talking about the government changes recently with the Section 24 and taking away interest rate relief for investors. Has that affected your investors to cause them to sell or cause them to look at stuff or cause old investors to come out of retirement and buy more? What have you seen from that perspective?
We've only seen the market going up, obviously, since last October. Obviously, once sort of Brexit was resolved, we've just seen more buy-to-let investors. We've got a heat map, and the majority of our buyers are from London and down south, and we've not really seen it affected at all.
Okay. Now, getting your crystal ball out, where do you see the market in 12 months' time from experience? Because you've obviously been an estate agent through at least the last two property crashes.
Yeah, I think we'll see some correction this year. I think in the next 12 to 18 months and sort of hitting 2021, I think the market's going to be better than it's ever been. So I think, capitalise on what we've got right now, and because I do think we've got some good times ahead.
Cool. Would you like to just tell everybody about what services you offer to everyone? I know you're in the Coventry area. There's quite a few people listening this evening, but also quite a lot of people listen to our recordings as well. So it's your chance to share what you can offer people if they're in the Coventry area.
Yeah, okay. Well, we do residential lettings. We offer 3 different services: let only, obviously you manage the tenant yourself, rent collection and full management. We obviously sell properties as well, we source, so we can kind of pretty much do everything. We also have the odd commercial properties as well, but we're predominantly sort of sales and lettings. I myself have also got a very good friend of mine, and if anybody on here has got some really good deals, and they are really, really good deals, there is no limit on funding. She lives in Monaco and she's got quite a large, she lives in hedge funds and things like that. So I've spoken to her, and she's actually said to me, if there is anybody that's got big investments that they need some funding for, then she'd be happy to look at them.
Okay, cool.
Which is obviously more for you guys probably.
That's cool. Right, we've got Ashton with his hands up. Let's go to Ashton Nazir. You have a question for us, Ashton. You need to unmute yourself to be able to speak. He's got his hand up. You've got your hand up, Ashton, so I'm not sure if you have a question that you wanted to ask. You need to mute yourself. Okay, let's go to...
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Yeah, sorry, I think you already answered about the surveyor at the moment, if they are still attending properties or not. I'm interested in buy-to-let, but I'm not sure about what is the position for surveyors, if they are still attending properties or not.
Yeah, so it's mixed at the moment, but I think the majority do desktop. I guess if the property's vacant, and with the new guidelines, they will probably start attending. But what we've seen at the moment with the majority is desktop valuations.
All right, yeah. And about viewings, how are you guys doing? Because some estate agents are saying they can't do viewings. And I also suggested, if we get any virtual videos, and it's quite difficult for me to find buy-to-lets.
Yeah, so we have done some videos, and we have let 2 or 3 houses on the videos. But what we are doing as well, and we've just got our council authority on that, is if the property's vacant, we go to the property, we open the door, we get back into our car, and then the customer will arrive, they will go into the property, have a look round, and then once they've left, we'll go back in, obviously with protective sort of masks and gloves and everything, just lock it up. So we are still trying to continue the viewings, but being obviously responsible.
And I think at the moment they will also like accept blind offers.
Sorry, do
estate agent accept blind offers?
Well, I think on the basis of what's going on, I mean, certainly I would say to my client to consider it. You know, so long as you've been able to at least maybe see a video of some kind. If it was just on images and you were going to buy it, I'm not so sure about that, if I'm honest. But if you had a video, I mean, we use the 3D tour on ours, so the majority of our properties have got like a 3 and 2D tour and a floor plan. And so if you viewed that, then I think that's a fair sort of viewing of the property. If an agent hasn't got that facility, then I can't obviously speak for them, but I would say we would probably accept a blind viewing, a blind offer at this stage.
All right. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Ashton, thank you. Right, I'm going to ask you a question from Krasimir, which is more a local question for you. I think Krasimir is fairly close to Coventry. He said Coventry is supposed to become Article 4 in May. Is that going to be extended because of the current situation? Are you with us, Maxine? Sorry, I haven't.
Oh yes, sorry, I missed that. Yeah, I lost you.
Okay.
What was that? Article 4?
Yeah, he says Coventry is supposed to become Article 4 area in May. What's happening about it?
Additional licensing?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
So if you don't run HMOs, it wouldn't be something you'd really have much to do with, but...
Yeah, so we've obviously, we are acting on behalf of a number of clients because we do have quite a number of properties that we're obviously under the normal HMO that now need it, so we've been helping with that, but essentially all properties will need it effectively HMO, so it's, where they're sharing, and that's really it. It's, you go onto the .gov website, it's all on there, but yeah, it's happening, and we're working with clients that we've got at the moment to get them through licensing if they need any help.
Yeah, the only thing is I find is different councils have different interpretations of what's happening out there. Now, I did have...
Yeah, it might be different for everyone, and I mean, as I say, for Coventry, it is on the .gov website, but it's, anybody that's sharing, it's basically, you sort of be licensed.
Okay, cool. Now I had, let's go to Brian. Brian, you had your hand up to ask a question. Brian Gold, probably the youngest.
Yes, I did.
I think just
she answered it.
Okay. All right, cool. Just to let everyone know. Brian, you 18 now, yeah?
Yeah, I just turned 18 in March.
Brian actually has, is it 4 rent-to-rents at the moment?
Yeah, I had 4 rent-to-rents, but Airbnb stopped everything. So it's been tough. It's tough for the rent-to-rent market right now. But we're looking to get in HMOs so that we don't need to go through Airbnb anymore.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Maxine, any tips for Brian? He's got 4 rent-to-rent properties, so he's not properties he owns, but properties that he has to pay rent on every month. He was running pretty much totally an Airbnb strategy, which works great but not currently.
Yeah. Try spare rooms.
Pardon?
Spare rooms.
Yeah, it was service accommodations, and there was 2 of them were service accommodations, 2 of them was HMOs.
Right, okay, but I mean, obviously, you can still put them on like the spare room and advertise via Facebook and normal social stuff. And the spare rooms, I know if you've got spare rooms, then I know they're still operating.
Yeah, I've got spare rooms. How I got the HMOs tenanted was with the with the spare rooms, but the Airbnb was for the serviced accommodation.
Yeah, which obviously is difficult, isn't it? Like you said at the moment. The serviced accommodation, what kind of accommodation are they? How many bedrooms?
There was two. One was two, one was one. And I explained to Glenn when I went to his seminar or meeting. I explained to him that I knew that it wasn't stable. I knew the market was never stable. I explained to him that I wanted to move into another market. The only reason I was doing rent to rent was because I wasn't 18 yet. So I couldn't really invest in properties the normal way or with another strategy because of my age at that time. And I was hoping to get into something better when I turned 18, but then the COVID-19 just slapped me in the face.
Yeah.
I think you've got...
Depending on your margin, profit, that kind of thing, and what you could do with those two properties, even if it was to let them through a letting agent, to make sure that you're getting back the money that you've committed to, or even a bit more. So for the short to medium term, you can put them on a sort of 6-month let with a loan pay. So you're at least getting some revenue back, whether or not it would pay you all of what you've committed to, or hopefully maybe a bit more. But I would suggest uploading those to somebody fairly swiftly, because if people are still and that market's dropped off, then you're paying, if you made back what you're paying for it, then surely that would be better than paying for it. To pay for it, and then you at the stuff I would put on spare rooms and advertise them through social media.
Yeah, and they're also looking to tighten regulations on the rent-to-rent schemes as well.
Yeah, there'll always be regulation changes coming in. The government do like to pin that on property investors. So I know, Brian, one of my other millionaire clients, Sean, was talking about some HMOs he's got, that he had a vacant room in one of them, and everybody asked that he didn't put someone new in there. Yeah. Because of the social distancing and all that type of stuff. But I'm just going to jump on, if you don't mind, Maxine, to Joe, because Joe's had a couple of these down on the coast, and he's rented them out long term to people that have moved down to the coast from London. Just asking you to jump back on and just explain to Brian what you did.
It's quite seasonal, but on the usual year I get paid from, say, March all the way through to Christmas, really. I've got 4/5 units, quite high yielding on the holiday lets. And you get this money towards the end of the year and stuff. But we all counted, everyone in the town doing the same for me, counting on a good bump of summer after not really much over the winter. But it's hit, and I've gone and I've had quite a lot of people approaching me for a long-term let, so I called solid, just take the money. And I did, getting good money long-term. There's been Londoners wanting to get out of town, and there's a doctor come down from Edinburgh with his missus, he's taking one, all fill up 3 to 4 months. And they all said they just want to ride out the storm. They're like, I've got good quality products that are stylish and funky and nice units. People like them, I get good reviews, and just like one of the dudes who moved down there said they wanted to come down, stay in Minefield Barn a little while and check out where else they could stay in long term.
So
they were for a couple of days, but they couldn't get anything else as good for the money. And they said, we're here for 3 or 4 months until COVID finishes.
So 1, 2 or 3 month rentals rather than serviced accommodation and that.
Rather than serviced accommodation, it's much better.
And I know, Joe, you've done it as a charity gesture. You've rented out a couple of your...
Not all of them, Ben.
No, but some you've actually...
If I have on a couple, I've got a couple of nurses staying in the remaining 2.
Yeah, so you've let them stay there free, but again, you could let the local authorities know, Brian, that there's rooms available, and they might have need for the hospitals might have need for somewhere for their staff to stay. So You might be able to do something with that.
Someone did do that, and Airbnb. It wasn't that I needed the Airbnb. Like, I was doing other marketing. I was doing email marketing, SMS marketing. I was doing TikTok marketing, Snapchat marketing, Twitter marketing, different ads everywhere. It's just that because of the lockdown and the social distancing, it's hard. It's very hard to convince people.
You could try using a good old estate agent. Maxine, that's the joy of being 18. Everything's gone social media now.
Yeah. I think your best bet is just to, as Joe's just said, just try and find somebody long term and see out those deals that are not going to cost you, and sort of want something else as and when you can.
Yeah, and because I looked at something like a real estate broker, but I think you need to be compliant with the property ombudsman for like sales, for selling houses and stuff. I think so. I'm not sure.
Yeah, as a sourcer, Brian, if you were sourcing properties for people, you should be part of a property ombudsman scheme, because as a property sourcer, you're actually acting as an estate agent.
Okay, and are all estate agents part of a property ombudsman scheme?
Yes.
Okay.
Members of the property ombudsman, and I'm a member of the National Association of Estate Agents, so obviously any of those qualifications, you actually sourcing, are you?
Pardon?
Sourcing, is he sourcing, Glenn?
No, I'm not sourcing. Sourcing. I was looking to do that while this was going on.
I see. Okay.
It's not easy though at the moment, Brian, because of getting out and doing stuff. So it doesn't stop you ringing around and making low offers and then passing them on to other investors if one gets accepted. But there we go. All right, thanks, Brian.
No problem.
Good luck.
Thank you. Don't you wish you'd started at 18, Maxine?
I did.
There we go.
18 was when I started an estate agency, fell into it, I don't know how that happened, honestly.
But you said you've been in it for years. I thought you'd only been in it by 3 years if you start at 18.
18, so what am I now? Gee, I don't know the age.
Okay. All right. Right. So Jazz says he has a question regarding property in the current situation. So Jazz, if you can put how found him. Right. Let's go to Jazz. Hi, Jazz. You just need to unmute yourself and you can ask away.
Hi there. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Fine.
Hi. So I'm just curious at this moment in time. Obviously, everyone's at a moment where they kind of don't know that they expect property prices are obviously going to drop and take a cut with that. Would you want to be on the side of working with a developer and perhaps that side of networking, or would you want to be in a position where you're working for an estate agent that's already sort of established, set up shop? I'm just kind of thinking in regards to market-wise. Most estate agents are sort of selling your bog standard house that doesn't really need much work to young professionals, first-time buyers, or perhaps people downsizing, upsizing, etc. Whereas developers, they might be sort of maybe they're booming at this time, but they're striking in and they're buying things at a cheaper price. I'm just sort of, where's your head at in regards to that? Do you think there's benefits for working for an estate agent? Or would you be more inclined to go work alongside a developer?
Well, what I will tell you is I do have land and new homes experience, and I have valued sort of quite big sites, 10-year strategic sites, about B&P Paribas, and if the market drops, the majority of new developers will mothball their sites. If they've purchased land and they're not going to get value back, they'll mothball sites. So if they've got units that are built, they'll get rid of those, but I wouldn't imagine there's going to be too much movement there if obviously things go the way that they go until they buy the cheap land and they'll build on that.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. And so do you think in regards to people buying through estate agents, usually general families, do you think there's going to be a huge halt on that and almost sort of what we experienced through Brexit, that that hesitation, that holding back. So I guess people will have to, it will take them some time to recover from this. So, I mean, in regards to, do you think there's still going to be movement on the market, or do you think it's going to be a bit like Brexit again?
Well, it's like anything, isn't it? I mean, there'll be people out there that unfortunately, you know, are not going to make it through. You know, houses will get repossessed. That there'll be a lot of that at the moment. So in terms of estate agents, you know, and residentially, people selling and moving up market, people are still going to have, you know, people who want to move are probably going to move, but people who need to move, you know, and I think that there are people that will keep the market moving as always in any recession, in the 2008 recession, you know, so it will be those people that sell and, you know, buy-to-let investors that can't let the houses out, that kind of thing. So, you know, it will just be just like any other recession really, that people who need to sell will, you know, will have to sell.
Yeah,
So,
okay, that's great. Okay, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Jazz, my take on it is that as an investor, if you can buy something at 20-25% below market price, and you can structure it in a way where you use most of your discount for the deposit, i.e. you don't have to put money in to buy it, then at the moment it's an opportunity to fill your boots, because there are going to be people that are selling that need to sell, and then it's, you know, the estate agents that you deal with regularly will look after you when it comes to deals like that come in. Because some people, for whatever reasons, will sell not because they want to get the most money, but they'll sell it for a reduced price because they will need to sell quickly. So I think any time there's a downturn or there's a situation that, you know, that if you can get enough discount, you're never going to be in a problem situation ever.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think what goes up is coming down, and I think, you know, like I've had several conversations with our existing clients at the moment, and, you know, do you want to rent it? Do you want to do rent to own? No, because, you know, if you're inherited it, it's owned by me and my sister needs the money. So they've reduced the property by 25,000.
Yeah. And for me, Maxine, if there's 300 houses, average price 100 grand, identical house on a housing estate, the nice ones are worth 110, and, you know, the scruffy ones are worth 90. For me, if you can pick up a 90 grand house for 70, 60, 70, and, you know, maybe spend 5 grand on it and turn it into 110 grand, then no recession, no problem is going to drop you past what you've paid for it anyway.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay.
Basically a numbers game.
yeah, but fill your boots at the moment. It's like it's just a golden opportunity for investors. I know it's not a nice situation for a lot of people, but, you know, historically in the last recession, I bought lots of properties during the recession, and then when we couldn't buy any more because I couldn't get mortgages anymore, I started buying them for other people direct from agents, because actually in the recession it was much easier to get properties from agents than it was you know, to get discounted properties by marketing for them. But as soon as the market is, you know, buoyant again, the agents will then be seeking the best possible prices and achieve that all the time. And so therefore the only deals that I ever really got were ones that were direct marketed. But in times of downturn, then there's normally deals to be had through agents as well.
Okay, interesting. I mean, my situation is sort of umming and ahhing. It'll be my first step to actually getting onto the market myself. I work as a negotiator anyway, but I want to sort of start flipping houses myself. Prime opportunity has come up to buy a house that I know through a friend. I know it's been in their family sort of 50 years, and I'm thinking it's going to be my prime target. But half of me is thinking, as a first-time buyer, I am going to have to take out a mortgage at this point in time. And in order for me to take the property on and start doing work to it, to eventually, my idea is I want to convert it into 2 flats.
Jazz,
But
what's
I
their
don't know if it's going to be.
what's their situation? Do they need to sell? Are they living there at the moment? What's their situation?
So the situation is my mum has been renting it for 14 years, and she knows the landlord personally. They've always had a good relationship, and she knew him before renting the house as well. So it's been preserved for a long time and kept to probably even longer than 50 years within this one family. And then obviously my mum's been renting it for 14 years. So I'm trying to see this opportunity of now how we can take it, because he said he wants to sell it when my mum moves.
Right, well look, listen, I'm pretty sure that in that scenario there's a very good chance that he'd accept an offer now where you exchange contracts, yeah? And then you can do any work that you need to do with his consent.
Yeah.
Okay. If you're talking about converting it into 2 flats, you could get planning while your mum's still renting it. You could do all the work while your mum's still renting it, and then you can sell them and pay him. And if you structure the deal right, you can take the profit without ever buying it. So you don't need a mortgage. You just need to exchange contracts, and you just need the money for the refurb.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, that's food for thought, definitely.
So that's how I would be looking at it. Then you haven't got stamp duty costs, you haven't got mortgage carry costs. You just need to carry on paying the rent. So, all right.
Yeah, I see. Perfect. Thank you.
All right, no problem.
Thanks a lot.
Okay. Right. So I've got somebody in the Coventry area, Maxine, one of my clients, who's asked if it's all right to share your contact details with him. Is that all right if I can pass them on? Sorry, Maxine, I missed you there.
Oh yeah, sorry, no problem at all, yeah.
All right, his name's Nick Goodman, so I'll pass you on. He's really cool, so yeah, you'll get on really well. All right?
Fantastic.
All right. Okay, well, our 45 minutes as normal goes very, very quickly. We've answered all the questions anybody's had. As far as I'm concerned, we haven't had any more hands up. So I'm going to take the opportunity of saying thank you very much, Maxine, for joining me this evening and answering everybody's questions. It's a pleasure. It's always interesting to get different takes from people in different industries, and it's weird how different rental agents or different estate agents have got their own opinions as well. So, which is really cool. And obviously, you've got a development hat as well because you've done developments as well. So, thank you very much for joining us this evening. Tomorrow evening, just to let everybody know, I'm chatting to Anthony Lyons, who is the editor of YPM Property Magazine. I know he has a portfolio of about 40 properties. He's been doing some development work, so he's going to be talking, or I'm going to be asking him questions tomorrow evening. We'll be back on Friday with our weekly Friday spot with our estate agent, our mortgage broker, to see if anything's changed. Hoping to get my accountant on next week to see about grants and things that different people and different businesses can get, and have a chat with him. And also our very popular Mohit, our solicitor, is also happy to come back in 2 weeks' time and chat to everyone with any updates that's happening in that market. So thank you all for joining us this evening. It's been a pleasure chatting to you, Maxine. Thank you very much. Have a great night, everybody. And most of all, stay safe. And I'll speak with you again tomorrow evening.